welcome back. You are rocking with Agent R in 2023. Let's start it off right. We're sitting on the exercise ball. I can't think of a better way to jumpstart this thing than by spending all of our gems that is taking us forever to acquire in Duel Links on this new box future circuit. Let's go ahead and check out exactly what they have in store for us in this one. I love how Links have just shaken up the game. But in this box, it seems like we're going to step backwards here with what they're bringing in as far as Book of Moon and all of that stuff. But there is Firewall Dragon now in the game, Nightmare Unicorn, which will be in every deck, Bottomless Trap Hole, yeah, Dark Hole is completely disgusting. I don't know why they brought that in this game, but it's going to open up a world of combos. I'm looking at you Fire Kings and some other stuff here, but I mean, they've dropped, of course, those. I think there was, the Ibli, which this is going to, this is forcing every player to, in some way, run Link. So, Nightmare Corruptor Ibli is the card that's going to push Konami into profits of 2023, because this card says here, if this card in its owner's control is sent to the graveyard, you can special summon this card to your opponent's field in defense, and when that happens, you cannot special summon monsters except Link monsters. So there you go. 2023 Links. We've got some Cosmo stuff in here. We've got Magical Musketeers that, from what I've seen, it has mixed results, but it is, I think, the cheapest deck in here. What we are in here for, however, with our 7100 gems, is Goki. And yeah, Goki is not specifically in this box. I have some Goki cards from before. Goki the Master Ogre. Says once per turn, you can return to the hand any number of Goki monsters you control that this card points to. Then target the same number of face-up cards your opponent controls. They have their effects negated until the end of this turn. This card can attack all monsters your opponent controls once each. And if your opponent controls a face-up monster, this card can only target their monster with the highest attack for the attacks, and your choice of tied. So, Master Ogre is going to put this deck over. It was already strong before. I did a lot of ladder climbs with Goki since the introduction of their Link cards, and Master Ogre is the Omni Negate. It's beautiful. Also in this box, I know we are looking for the one-time passcode, which is pretty cool. You special summon a security token. It is a Cyberse. You can only activate one per turn, but it is a level 4, so it also will enable a lot of extension of your plays when you're messing particularly with code talkers. I know a lot of decks don't necessarily focus on the fact that how much they summon, but the game is trying to help us out by reintroducing, I think for, I don't know, the third time, Summon Breaker. Okay, during main phase 1, if the turn player successfully conducts their third summon of a monster this turn, it becomes the end phase. Now, FYI, that does include flipping that monster face up, right? Flip summon. So it really is a powerful card. It does limit you as far as what you're going to run in your decks, but if you're looking to just run something more control oriented, Summon Breaker is still a solid card. They also have the Nightmare Phoenix. Just like the Unicorn, when it's Link summoned, you can activate the effect, you discard a card, and for this one it targets to destroy a spell or trap. The Unicorn will do the same, but it will target a card on the field and then shuffle it back into the deck. So that's why we say Unicorn will be ran as like a staple for any like pesky cards that are on the field. Just send that right on back. You want to run a deck that doesn't really care about back row, right? Or just getting rid of spells and traps. However, you're still concerned about Necro Valley, put Nightmare Unicorn in your deck. They have the Cosmo Tin Can as well. And that would be interesting to see if I can get some of those, because I do like how Cosmo runs. Essentially, the quick play effect of tributing the monster to then special summon one from like the hand is generically the premise of what's going on. And then they have many effects, negations, destruction, all that sort of stuff. So it's pretty cool. We'll check that out. But the focus definitely is on our Goki stuff. So let's get right into it. I nary want to spin the gems, but this is what they're for. So let us perform the box opening ritual.
A few moments later.
There you have it. It's been reset for the number of times that it should be. So actually, before we do the 10 pack on there, I do want my duelist pass. So let's go in here and hit that up, because that'll drop 1,500 gems, and then that'll give us the leveling up that we need to do, because grinding is so much harder when you only get ×3 instead of ×5. Scripton. You can banish one Cyberse from your graveyard except Scripton and special summon this card from your hand. If this card is sent to the graveyard as a material for a link summon of Cyberse, you can target one banished monster and shuffle it into the deck. It's a pretty cool way of getting back some Code Talker stuff. And World of Legacy Awakens. Dude, that artwork is cool. Immediately after this effect resolves, link summon one link monster using monsters you control as material. Oh, so if you want to run Nightmare on your opponent's turn, that's pretty cool. Alright, I see you. Putrid Pudding Body Buddies. Wow. What is this? Cannot be used as a fusion, synchro, or Xyz material for a summon. Okay. While this card is face up on the field, it cannot be tributed. What is this card? Do you give it to the opponent? During your end phase, you can target one card in your pendulum zone, destroy it, and if you do, give control of this card to your opponent. During each of your standby phases, take 150. What? It didn't say you couldn't link though. Let me see if you do something secret Xyz. Yeah. I mean, yeah, there's your warning right there. You could still use this to link with something. What a weird card. Oh, there's our first one. Magical Musketeer Dock. During either player's turn, you can activate Magical Musket spell / trap cards from your hand. This is what they all do. If a spell / trap card is activated in this card's column, you can add a Magical Musket card from your graveyard to your hand, but not a card with the same name as that activated card. Okay. And Cosmojo, oh, you looking bodied. Destroy your own Cosmo and banish one card your opponent controls or in their graveyard. Sweet. I can already see the utility of that. Ooh, ready. Hold on, let me zoom in. What is... Hey man, this is Magical Musketeer Wild Heart. You know, the hair, it looks like some locks going on. Why you gotta be wild, Konami? Why you gotta be anyway, during either player's turn, you can activate Magical Musket spells and traps from the hand. If a card is activated in this column, you can target 3 cards in your graveyard. Oh, okay, the recycle, and then draw a card. Nice. Oh, come on, no animation. How many holes do we have in this game? Link hole. If you control a Link 4 or higher monster, destroy monsters your opponent controls up to the number of Link 3 or higher monsters you control. Okay. The Dancing Needle. If you control a Magical Musket monster, target up to 3 cards in the grave, banish them. Ah, so this is like it's Melodious. Despero Boy. This looks like a DNF character right here. This looks like Launcher. If you control a Magical Musket monster, target one face-up card on the field and destroy it. It has to be face up, unfortunately, but I mean, you're still activating, right? So it works in their favor. Cause Morning. Monsters destroyed by battle with Cosmo monsters you control are shuffled into the deck instead of going to the graveyard. That is actually fantastic. You can banish this card from your graveyard, and the first time you would take battle damage from a battle involving a Cosmo monster you control this turn, it gains that much life points instead. That's a cool little part, but cannot underestimate the power of getting rid of your opponent's monster on the field and sending that shite right back to the deck. That's actually cool. I don't know if I've seen people run this as much. I would like to test that out and see, because it's sort of like the effect for the rank 4 water monster that does the same thing, right? You got to detach an Exceeds material, and instead of it going to the graveyard, just put it right on back in the deck. I love that, because all of these decks more and more are about thinning out the deck so you can ruin that whole strategy. Starfire, you're the one that's on the needle card, right? During either player's turn, blah blah blah. What happens in the column? You can special summon 1 level 4 or lower magical musket from your deck. Ooh, in defense. See, there's that thinning going on. So you summon from the deck, but you're a 4. Okay. I was like, why is it not opening? Calamity. This is beautiful card art. And what do? You can target 1 magical musket monster in your graveyard, special summon it in defense. Another level 4. Yo, Agave Dragon. That is exactly what that thing does. Be aware of using agave syrup. Be aware. Be mindful. Be mindful of agave and the fact that you want to use it sparingly, because it doesn't break down in the body like, say, sugar does. It's not processed that way. It just goes straight to the liver, and if you OD on that, you can unfortunately put yourself in a situation of fatty liver disease. So that's just an FYI. Hashtag well played. I only thought about that because of this Agave Dragon. I can't even read the text, it's so small. Alright, I have to catch that on the back end. Cosmo Slip Rider. Let's see. If this card is normal or special summon, you can target a spell or trap on the field and destroy it. That's nice. If this card is destroyed by battle or card effect sits in the graveyard, you can banish it from the grave and special summon a level 4 or lower from the deck. Ooh. World Legacy's Sorrow. We're getting all of the World Legacy stuff now. When your opponent activates a spell or a trap or a monster effect while you control a code-linked monster, negate the activation, and if you do, destroy that card. This is easier to put on the board than you think. It's not directly tied to World Legacy monsters, but now bringing in the Firewall Dragon, you can definitely run this and then set it. It will be code-linked by the time your opponent does something. Say turn 1, and then this just becomes an Omni Negate. Wow. This is really new. Switch the opponent's spell card effect that targets 1 spell or trap card to another correct target. Okay. When did this card? This is like my generation, right? Like 2004 kind of card. What the? Fiendish Deal. Magical musket monsters you control cannot be destroyed by card effects. If this card in your possession is sent to your graveyard by an opponent's card effect, you can add a magical musket card from the deck or graveyard to your hand except Fiendish Deal. So it can't be destroyed. I wonder if that's even worth running on that, because you kind of want to cycle them, right? Binary Blader is another one that just has tiny, like you see, I have my own glasses, right? I cannot see that text at all. Mecha Phantom Beast? Raiten. Discard a card, special summon a token. What level is it? 3? Okay. Also, you can only use this as Fusion, Synchro, Xyz, or Link for summon for the rest of this turn. Wait, what? What are we missing? None of them. A Synchro, an Xyz, or Link. You can't ritual? That's weird. Okay. This card's level is increased by the total levels of all the tokens you control while you control this token, or a token. It can't be destroyed by battle card effects. Pass. Ooh, we got, hold up. Animation? I thought we already looked at that. It's not the UR we want. What is Amphibious Swarm Ship Embla Whale? Why are these cards mouthfuls? I can't see that either. Hand Holding Genie. I've seen this. This is an anime card, right? I think I've seen this in 5Ds. I can't be specific. Let's see. Monsters your opponent controls cannot target monsters for attack except this one. This card gains defense equal to the combined original defense of all other face-up defense position monsters you control. Wow. Oh, there it is. Cosmo Landwalker, our little Star Wars card here. They're all Star Wars references for the most part. And what is the other reference? The Wizard of Oz? Like a combination? Probably more. The Cosmo card you control would be destroyed by battle or an opponent's card effect. You can destroy one other Cosmo card you control instead. So it's like a deflection. If this card is destroyed by battle or card effect and sent to the graveyard, you can banish this card from your graveyard. Special summon one level 5 or lower Cosmo from your deck. So it includes level 5 instead of 4. Nice. Cross Domination. If you control a magical musket, target one face-up monster on the field. Change its attack and defense to 0. Also, it has its effects negated as a quick play spell. That is broken. I'm saying it's broken for running around with cubic cards, but this is actually broken. Steady Hands looks like a card that belongs in the Scorpion stuff, right? Like Don Zalug and all of that. Like that looks like a Don Zalug kind of card. Target one magical musket monster you control. Its attack and defense becomes double until the end of this turn. It cannot attack directly during the turn you activate this card. You can only activate it once per turn. So now we can boost up, because they're not really all that strong of monsters, but Steady Hands will definitely increase that for the turn, so it's cool. We don't care about Mech Knight. On this channel, we do not care about Mech Knights. Okay. Mastermind Zakio. You can tribute summon this card face up by tributing one magical musket monster. Okay. During either player's turn, you can activate the blah blah blah. It's the same thing. Once per turn during your opponent's end phase, you can draw cards equal to the number of spell and traps you've activated this turn, magical muskets, while this card is faced on the field. You can only use this effect once per turn. So this is the big boy of the box for magical musket. Understand? You get a lot of draw power out of that, actually. Who did we not read? Oh, this dude. Oh yeah. It gains 200 attack for each Link monster in the graveyard. What does it point to? Okay. You can only use each of the effects once per turn. If this card is destroyed, you can target one Link 3 or lower in either graveyard and special summon it. Respect. If a Link 3 or lower monster on the field is destroyed by battle or card effect, while this card is in the grave, you can banish this card from the grave and destroy one card on the field. Huh. I guess like the main thing it has going for it is that it's fire right now, so it's easy to put in. Like especially if you're running Salamangreat, because it's fire, right? 2+ effect monsters. It's only 2600, which, but then it gains 200 attack for each one. So say if you were running it in Salamangreat, I mean, you could easily have this boosted up by what, two, so, or 800. So that would put it at 3400 attack. It might not be that bad at all, actually. We'll have to play around with that. Where was the other card that was hard to read here? Let me find it. Agave Dragon, that was it. So this is also a Link 4. It has some pretty good arrows. If this card is Link summoned, you can apply these effects in sequence, depending on the types of monsters in the grave. Skip over any that don't apply. That's weird. Okay, so inflict 50 damage to your opponent for each dragon. You could have left that at 100. This card gains 200 attack for each dinosaur. All monsters your opponent currently controls lose 300 attack for each sea serpent. You gain 400 life points for each worm. What? What? Off the rip, the creativity for that I do not have. Like, what is this? What is Agave Dragon doing in what deck? Let me know in the comments below. Trickstar Delphindium. This card declares an attack while pointing to a Trickstar monster. You can target your banished Trickstar cards up to the number of linked monsters your opponent controls. Add them to your hand, and if you do, this card gains 1000 attack for each card added until the end of the turn. Oh, I have seen more Trickstars on ladder. Forerunner cannot be targeted by an opponent's card effects. At 2800, that is not bad. There's Slip Rider down there. During your standby phase, you gain 1000 life points. If this card is destroyed by battle or card effect and sent to the grave, you can banish this card. It's just summon a level 6 or lower Cosmo, so it just keeps stacking. It goes like one less, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, yeah. The system down. Detonate Deleter. Yo, how many ways can I tell you that everything is gone? You're getting dusted. Once per turn at the start of the damage step. When this card battles a face-up monster that is not a Link 3 or higher Link monster, you can destroy it. Alright, well there you go. Once per turn, you contribute one monster this card points to, then target one monster your opponent controls and destroy it. That's it. Detonating and deleting. This card seems like mad fun. I'm gonna pop that in there. I'm gonna pop that in the deck. Oh! Animation and eyes. What? To replace an add them to your hand. I don't even remember having that card. Oh! Nightmare Unicorn. Yes. We'll take it. The Sword Troopers. How did you get away with this, Konami? What do they do? During either player's turn, you can banish this card, special summon a level 4 or higher from the hand. You can only use it once per turn, and once per turn, you can pay 1000 life points to target a psychic type Cosmo monster in the grave and special summon it. There you go. Just it's trooping. The Landwalker, Array of Revealing Light. This is an old card too. I used to have this in my binder back in the day. Declare one type of monster. Any monster of the declared type cannot declare an attack during the turn it is normal summoned, flip summoned, or special summoned. If you know what you're doing in like a tournament arena space, like, you know what I mean? Like, you know what's most going to be used kind of thing. You could easily slip this into the side deck if you wanted to. It's not the strongest side deck card, but it would put in some work for you and stall out for a turn. Delta Shuttle. Let's see. Once per turn, you can send a Cosmo from the deck to the graveyard, then target a face-up monster on the field that loses attack and defense equal to the sent monster's level times 100. If this card is destroyed by battle or card effect and sent to the graveyard, you can banish it. Special summon a level 4 Cosmo from the deck. Ow. Bellcat Fighter. When this card destroys an opponent's monster by battle, you can special summon one Bellcat token in defense position. I know that 2000 defense ain't that bad. Bro, who brought Pineapple Blast in this box? when you normal summon a monster, if your opponent controls more monsters than you do, destroy your opponent's monsters so that your opponent controls the same number of monsters as you. Your opponent chooses which of their monsters are destroyed. That's why it doesn't get used. If it let you pop their monster, yes. So one card in your opponent's grave, return it to the deck. That's awesome. Ah, there she is, Cosmo Good Witch. Alright, you can, during other player's turn, you can banish this card, special summon at level 5 or higher from the hand. You can only use this effect once per turn. This is the one that you want to run, I think, multiple copies of. Once per turn, you can pay 500 life points, target one face of monster opponent controls, then put it to face down defense. Oh, we got eyes. Just give me the Ibli. Yes, we'll take it. Okay, we didn't get Firewall. We didn't get Expendable Die either. I'm actually looking for this for the Gokis. I'm actually looking for this card as well for Goki. Tribute one warrior type monster, then target one card on the field and destroy it. And if you do, draw a card. So you're plussing. It's, oh man, what is the name of that card? I'll put it on the screen. But it's the same thing that you use for fish, right? And you tribute the fish, pop a card, and then you draw a card. So this is what it is for warriors. I have way too many cards in my head. Oh, okay, there it is. The Caspar. Or Casper. How are we pronouncing this? What do you do? You can add one magical musket card from your deck to your hand, but not a card with the same name as the one that was activated. Got you. So you add from the deck. You're the one. You're him. World Legacy Struggle. Target spells and traps on the field up to the number of co-linked monsters on the field. Destroy them. Yeah, World Legacy just works with so much. Scaredy Lion. You can banish this card in either player's turn, special summon one level 3 or higher Cosmo. And once per turn you can pay 500 and target 3 of your banished Cosmo monsters, return them to the graveyard, and if you do, inflict 250 to your opponent. It's a nice little recycle. You might run 1 if at all. Animation. World Legacy's Nightmare. You take no battle damage from attacks involving your co-linked monsters. Once per turn, you can activate one of these effects. You can move one Nightmare monster you control to another of your main monster zones. You can switch the location of 2 Nightmare monsters in your main monster zones. Okay. I haven't come across any Nightmare monsters. Slip Summon. Activate. Oh, isn't this the illusion? Isn't this the illusionary wall or something like that? This is an old card too. It's the OG. Activate only when your opponent summons a monster. You can special summon one level 4 or lower monster from your hand and face up defense, and return it to its owner's hand during the end phase. Okay. Strawman. Straw. And this one can banish as a quick play. Either when it says during either player's turn, it's a quick play effect. You can special summon one level 3 or higher Cosmo from the hand. You can only use this effect once per turn. You can pay 500 to target one of your banished Cosmos and special summon it, but its effects are negated, also destroyed during the end phase. Now I like that recycle a little more. Goki the Solid Ogre. What do? You're a link 3? cannot be destroyed by battle or card effects while it's pointing to a Goki monster. And once per turn, quick effect, you can target one Goki monster in your main monster zone. What? Except Goki the Solid Ogre. Move that monster you control to your main monster zone this card points to. And then move it to a point. That's actually not bad. See, earlier in the seasons or whatever, like when Links first came, I was running into a situation where I would end up with a Goki card like in defense because of the spell card, Goki Return or whatever. And you put it on the field, and then I would go into like the Great Ogre or something like that, right? The problem is I wanted to be able to tribute that monster from being in one of the zones that it was pointing to, but it wasn't. So I was trying to figure out different ways to like set up the board, and essentially the board got ruined. So it started limiting some of the plays I was doing. Goki the Solid Ogre kind of solves that. I'll play around with it and see if it's good at one. It would only be a one of if you actually run it at all. All face-up psychic type monsters you controlled. When this card was activated, gains 300 for each of your psychic type monsters that's removed from play when it resolves. Please remove from play. Oh, it says to the infested, please. Remove from play all monsters that were affected by this effect during the end phase. Huh. Cross debug. If you control 2 or more Link monsters, you can special summon this card from your hand. During damage calc, if your Link monster battles an opponent's Link monster quick effect, you can banish this card from the grave and target one Link monster in your grave. Your battling monster cannot be destroyed by battle. Also, until the end phase of this turn, it gains attack equal to the target's attack. Track Black. You can target one monster you control this card points to. Each time it destroys an opponent's monster by battle this turn, you can draw a card. I like you. Come on. Text changer. Once per turn, when your monster is targeted for an attack, you can negate it. And special summon one cyber type normal monster from your hand, deck, or graveyard. Yo, Delphindium's art is awesome. I would be more hype about Droll and Lockbird if, like, there were more decks set up to do a lot of, like, plussing. But, I mean, there's a lot of plussing going on from the effects we've read, so I won't take that much from it. But essentially what Droll and Lockbird does is you can send this card from the hand to the grave, and for the rest of the turn, neither player can add a card from their deck to their hand, but that's after the opponent has already added a card from their deck outside of the draw phase. So they've already gotten what they want, and then you don't want them to have more. Another Mecha Phantom Beast, Turtle Tracer. This card's level is increased by the total levels of all Mecha Phantom Beast tokens you control. While you control a token, it can't be destroyed by battle or card effects. Each turn, the first token you control that will be destroyed by battle is not destroyed. Are we just saving tokens? Okay, there's the one-time passcode. Ooh. Don't do me like that. Shield Handler. When a card or effect is activated that would destroy a monster on the field, target one Link monster on each field, negate the effects of your opponent's targeted monster, and if you do, equip this card to your targeted monster. The equipped monster cannot be destroyed by card effects. Okay. Bam! This is it right here. Phoenix! We got another Forerunner. Dog Fighter, okay. Special summon one Dog Fighter token once per turn during the standby phase. Level 6. If this card is destroyed by battle or card effect and sent to the graveyard, you can banish this card from the grave, special summon level 5 Cosmo from the deck. Why'd you give me another Ibli? There we go, expendable die. Honestly, if I can just get another one of those like very quickly, I'll just reset. But that's a big if. Ooh, they gave me the succession. Target one monster in your graveyard, special summon it to your zone, a link monster points to. You can only activate one of these per turn. This is an amazing card. Show me. Okay, Trickstar. A Mask of Dispel. Why? Yay! Cosmo Farm Girl. Let's go. Why did they put it in yellow though? So, Mask of Dispel. Select one face-up spell card on the field. The controller of the spell card takes 500 points of damage during each of your standby phases. When the select card is removed from the field, destroy this card. Wah. But Farm Girl. During either player's turn, you can banish this card, special summon one level 4 or higher Cosmo from your hand. You can only use it once per turn. When this card inflicts battle damage, you can pay 500 life points and you can add a Cosmo from the deck to your hand. So that's the reason you want this. I don't know if at 3, maybe at 2 would be a nice setup for there, because the deck's already doing a lot of moving and searching anyway. Why are we looking at Genetic Woman? It's like that episode of Batman Beyond. There we go. Because I really want the expendable die. We will get the Master Ogre, okay? But we're going ahead and doing this. Animation. Yes! Woo! Look at that. That is a beautiful setup. Gave it to us out of the second pack. We love to see it. Alright, so come on. I'm compelled to run Sentinel in something. Our second Droll and Lockbird. Alright. Twice more for the video. Alright, we got the die. I'm looking for a link. Tell me that you are the Master Ogre. Yes! We did it. Anyway, that was a success. We got the Firewall Dragon, we got the Nightmare Unicorn, we got the Embla Whale, we got Farm Girl. We didn't get a Tin Can yet, which makes me sad. We ended up getting a Legacy Succession, which I like that at 1. We didn't get any Bella Madonnas, but that's okay. Master Ogre, Nightmare Phoenix. We got Ibli. I'm not going to be touching Cosmo yet because we didn't get Dark Lady at all, and I feel like that one is really key to the deck. Neither did they give me Dark Hole, so I'm kind of like, what? But we did get all 3 expendable die. They even gave us a glossy one. So expect in the next couple of days or whenever we get to it, I will definitely be uploading some Goki gameplay. I had some from before, but now that we're beefed up, I think it's time to just highlight exactly why I love this deck so much. And be on the lookout as well. Thought I mentioned it earlier. We have another article coming out for Well Played, so stay tuned for that. So I know you want to stay healthy in 2023, and I'm here to deliver some good news and some good practices on how to do so that you can game better, stronger, all that good stuff, and just be healthy in general, right? Who wants to have a year of being ill or sick or being in pain? We can fix all of that. Starts with you, starts with some habit changes, and get on the right foot. Make sure to check out the description, the links, and all that YouTube SEO stuff. Give me a like if you're vibing with it. Consider subscribing. Let me know what kind of content that you want to see from Duel Links or whatever else we got going on. But until next time, we did it. Prove your meta.